Well, hello, everybody. Let's
Hey,
all do the
everybody, welcome to the
RPG. Let's do the RPG. So today we are live on the ParaGeeks Facebook page and the I'm Bigfoot Facebook page, just to let everybody know. So if you want to chitter chat, if someone wants to go watch the ParaGeeks one, I'll watch the I'm Bigfoot one. And you know what? It's going to be a good show. Now, normally we don't ever do a show where we dominate one freaking topic. But today, we're going to get schooled by RPG.
Is that the word we're using today? School.
School.
I don't know about that. I would call it unschooling. We're going to unschool all of these.
We're going to be
fools.
deschooled.
Yeah, de-school. I mean, that's what I always, be cool, stay out of school is what I tell the kids. Don't get me going on public education, but we'll hit that one next time if you'd like. Now, I was a product. Of the public schooling. Let me tell you, I had almost all straight A's, but I spent a lot of time at the principal's office because I couldn't sit still. It's funny how they can't get through to boys, and they think boys can sit around and talk about their feelings and be quiet, when boys really need to run and play and explore and search the world. So this talk goes out to everybody, but it really goes out to the young men out there thinking that everything's been discovered, it's all figured out, dinosaurs are real, we live on a giant spinning globe and gravity is real. What I'm inviting you to partake in is the possibility. Remember, it's just a possibility. At the end of the day, what's neat about my particular stance is if I'm proven wrong, I'll be the first person to stand there and say, wow, okay, I was dead wrong on that one. What's next? And I won't even get hung up. on it. I'll get you guys get your shots in, enjoy a month or so. But I will move on immediately. I doubt my academic friends here would be able to do the same thing if proven wrong about said subject. So I'm just building. We're just warming up. This is called foreplay. This is something we used to do before we got booty. We used to warm the engines. We used to take you out. We used to wine you and dine you. We didn't just jump right to the 69. No. We wanted to make sure everything was properly lubed before we got going. All right. Now that we've skated the fine line.
Which, if he actually had any experience in this, he would know that the 69 is what leads to the lubing. Never mind. Go.
Yeah. So here's what I would like you to do. Just for a moment, suspend. Get off your soapboxes. Everybody, we're all on soapboxes. Even when I'm not on a soapbox. I'm not sitting on it. I have no opinion in this. I'm wide open. No. Trust me. We have a solid opinion. There are a few things that are forced down your mental throat from the second you can even comprehend. Yeah. And this is true. And one of them is the spinning globe theory, this planetary theory that we have all these planets and that we live on this big spinning globe and it's spinning so fast that it's forcing everything to stick to it. And this is where we live, right? And on top of that, they also give us dinosaurs, which we're not going to go too far into that, but let's just say they give you that, dinosaurs, in the English language, which is the ugliest of all languages. It's my language, so I can say that. It's like being black and being able to say the N-word, nincompoop. You can say it if you're that color. So I'm white, and I can say that the English language is, it's kind of meh. Now, those three things are given to you, in my humble opinion, for a very specific reason. And that specific reason is to make it so when this conversation happens that we're about to have right now, you sit so rooted on your soapbox that it will be impossible for me to move the needle any way for you, because that is literally the foundation of your belief system, that you are a human being on a spinning rock in space, and you have come after the time of dinosaurs, and that the chosen language is English. Okay, so here's where we begin. Now, before I go, anybody have any opening comments before we slay this dragon?
No, I don't
know where English comes into this, but go ahead.
I speak American. I don't speak English. Just saying.
You love it. I can see Anthony. Anthony's DNA is like twitching. It's like, God, just put him in his place already. Don't even let him get going.
You wish.
No. And I also want to start with this. Like, this is a council of my peers. These are all my elders. I madly respect and love them. I would let any of them speak on my behalf anywhere, regardless of whether we line up on the same subject or not. This is meant to be fun, and this is meant to open your mind and pique your curiosity, right? I'm not here saying this is 100% fact. So just let's be there, because I can't prove it. I do not have the money, resources, or the friendship group yet. I'm hanging with these hoodingers to actually go prove it. But at the end, I will tell you what I am saving up for, and the experiment you will all be invited to the day we do it, and you will be there when either I have the biggest Cheshire cat smile on my face or Anthony does. And that's all I can tell you. That's going to come. That's going to come eventually. But we're not there yet.
Oh, you're going to be so surprised by today's episode. Go ahead.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, so I'm
going to prove to you. Hold on a minute. Stop. By the end of this episode, I'm going to prove to you that you are going to learn something that you absolutely did not expect, and that it will be something you did not see coming, and you will have a different opinion when you leave than when you walked in.
I love it. That was a gentle mic drop, and I'm very excited to listen to your lies, Anthony. I'm so excited. Okay, so let's take it piece by piece, because you want to spread this out over a whole relationship. I want to preface this with the missus is away, so I have taken on completely redoing the deck, which I was just telling the boys, I did 6 hours of power washing, 2.5 hours of that over my head. All this muscle is fake. This is what I learned. This is all fake, because I feel like I have gotten into a wrestling match with Andre the Giant, and he didn't hold back like he did with all the other wrestlers back in the day. Now, to go back in the day, let's start off with all the great minds, or the great people that came before us, that they've, in my opinion, once again, there's going to be a few leaps of faith you're going to have to understand. I believe our past has been scrubbed, and I mean scrubbed multiple times. So just understand, that's where I'm starting. You're probably already starting from, maybe that's BS, or we know a little bit about it. I'm just telling you flat out, there have been rewrites of what has gone on in this world numerous times. How many? I don't know. We could discuss that. But let's go way back to when people actually understood and actually explored the world. There was a golden age of exploration before what we would consider the golden age of exploration, Admiral Byrd and all that stuff. Anyway, to precede that, any ancient maps, go back and look at the old maps before the 1500s and whatnot. And what you're going to witness on those is you're going to witness that they have lands drawn around the outside. Now, another place where you're going to have to decide to make a choice is, everyone that came before us was a moron, and we know more now because we're smarter and we have better technology, or everyone that came before us knew what was going on. And now we live in a day and age where the victors, or the current rulers, decide what reality is and how far the boundaries of our actual realities go. Now, take a step even deeper. I believe I sent you something on the Jewish faith. I mean, let's go back to one of the oldest written words, and they even describe heaven as having a firmament above and below. Water, same above as below. We've heard these sayings, but none of us we just say them and dismiss them. But water above and water below. Okay.
Do you know
so
what image that is? So he can bring that up.
It says it right on it. I mean, it's the one. It's kind of blue gray. It showed it perfectly. I'm sorry, I was hammering last night, like right before bed. Hold on. I'm gonna try to see what it says exactly. It just says the great deep, God, heavens above, earth, Sheol, waters above, the firmament. It shows the ancient Hebrew conception of the universe. That's what it says on it.
Okay.
Ancient Hebrew conception of the universe. Now, once again, they base their beliefs on previous ancient texts. So it's like all these people were wrong, and then all of a sudden we came along and we decided on this globe theory, and that, or let's just stick with the firmament, that what we are witnessing above us is space. That when these rockets hit, right, and they create this wake across the top, that isn't like hitting water. It doesn't look exactly like water. When we look at these stars through it, the way that they move in and out and whatnot doesn't look like energy sources. They look clearly like planets. And I'm going to give you guys a chance to let's just stop it here and let you guys rebuttal, because all I'm saying is the ancients had it right. They knew that we lived in a massive flat plane, and almost an endless thing, and or it could be endless. Who knows how long it is, but yet we are capped. And I will just leave it with this. It's like people that believe in the globe, they have this, it's like a Superman thing. They have gravity, like gravity. I think gravity is complete shit. I don't think it's real. It can't be proven real. There's no prove it real. You can't. And so, or maybe Anthony's about to, but there's no gravity. All you have is mass. And if you fall from the air, when an apple fell from the tree, yeah, because it's heavier than the air molecules, you sink slower in water. That's all that is, in my very humble opinion. So listen.
But what is the force that pulls it down, Ryan?
There is no force. There is
why does it go down? And why is it when you go to outer space and you're inside a shuttle or a rocket,
can't go there. Yeah.
It doesn't fall down. It floats in the middle. It just sits there and floats.
The higher up you get, the less air. There's less air density. Okay, so it gets less and less.
But they're inside a capsule. The air density is exactly the same, 14 psi. Otherwise, the astronauts would die.
Get up there.
The air density has to be the same.
Well, if I was to go up and drop from the top of the dome, you're telling me that I would fall at a different speed than if I fell out of a tree here.
No, you would accelerate at the same speed. If you're within Earth's gravitational pull, you start to accelerate at about 32 feet per second.
Until you hit
per second.
Yeah, until you hit terminal velocity.
You hit terminal velocity. But terminal velocity is the result of the air resistance. That's what causes terminal velocity, is resistance from the atmosphere. If you were falling on the moon, you never hit terminal velocity. You hit the moon at whatever the hell speed you hit it at.
Right.
So let me
drawn in by the gravitational pull.
So my second year of physics at the university, right? I had the first thing that freaking professor said to us is there's no such thing as an absolute. If you believe there's an absolute in everything, then you're right. So he gave us all subjects to dispute, right? So I got gravity. So back then I was a big gearhead. And I'm like, okay, I can do this. So my presentation, we went in and said, okay, we're going to use cars to disprove gravity. And he goes, okay, how are you going to do that? I said, well, okay, you're slower.
We lost you. Can't hear you.
You just lost audio.
We lost your audio, John.
CIA just cut him out. He was about to explain it.
He was fixing to give us the goods.
Can you bring me?
Oh, that's okay. I got cut off too.
Apparently, I'm the only one that they want to talk. What can I say?
Well, we're gathering evidence on it. Am I here?
Yeah.
Well,
can you guys hear me? Okay, good.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna step away from gravity a second. Okay. Now my connection is going to be sketch. Okay, because my internet out for the third time in 3 years, and I'm actually running off my phone. Okay, so here's the dealio.
Okay, I'm back.
You mentioned as above, so below. Welcome back, John. All right, go to gravity. Go.
Okay, so because I was a gearhead back in those days, and so the way I don't think I believe it, but again, you have to disprove. So I said, okay, we're going to take cars. Everything weighs more than it's supposed to. So a car, instead of weighing actually 2,000, 3,000 pounds, probably weighs 6,000, 7,000 pounds, right? So that's what keeps it on the earth. But to make it move, well, you have to have, everybody's like, well, the engine in the car, blah, blah, blah. I said, nope, we move because of exhaust. Cars with crooked exhaust are the slower vehicles. Cars with straight pipes are the ones that move faster, right? I mean, I just threw that out there. I actually got an A on that project, but it doesn't make a damn lick of sense. But I'm just saying, it's like, okay, you want me to disprove something? But, we've all been brought up to think a certain way. You're right, Ryan. Absolutely. It's like, well, let's just say, it's just like believing in Bigfoot. Is he real? Is he not real? I don't know. Is he real? Is he not? No one's proven he's real, and no one's proven he's not real. So, but anyway, that's where I'm at.
Okay, and I'm going to take this down. What you're actually talking about, Ryan, is called cosmography. Okay, cosmography is the way your culture teaches you to view the cosmos as a whole. Okay, the shape, the size, all of those elements that go into it. Now, the ancient Hebrew, of course, they learned much of what they knew about cosmography from ancient Egypt. And if you look at the ancient Egypt cosmos, this is what you get. This is from a great book by Janice Cameron, okay? And it's called The Cosmos of Khnumhotep II at Beni Hassan. And if we can pull up that image, Ryan, I think you will easily recognize
I think this is one of the images I sent.
No. I need to see it. Where is it? Dum. Yeah, because this book is really hard to get. I know, I think it's in reprint now, finally, but originally it was like a $400 academic text. No,
that's
it'd be mine labeled Egypt. Yeah, he's entirely different. But if you can find my image labeled Egypt.
He's looking for it now.
Just do an image of this while he talks.
Okay.
There you go.
Let's go.
So, and I do apologize there. Okay. You notice you have the netherworld, you have the sky, you have the earth. Okay. That's the Nile River down the middle. The ancient Egyptians saw the sky as they called it the Great Waterway. Okay. And beyond that bubble, the dome, the sphere, whatever you want to call it. Okay. There was noon. Noon was the chaos outside the bubble, the creation that is outside of it. All of the stars, everything that we see, know, and experience are inside the bubble. And the sphere research that I found when trying to dig into what you were going to present all said pretty much the exact same thing. Everything we are seeing is inside this bubble. Would you agree with that summary?
I would agree that we are in half of that bubble. But maybe the bubble continues all the way around. Maybe it is a giant bubble that goes around. Yeah, absolutely. I don't know.
And maybe it's half, it may be a hole. We can't get around the edge. I get that. Okay. But I just wanted to make sure that we're on the same page, that everything we see, the sun, the moon, the stars, the everything are actually inside that dome. Do you agree?
Yes, I do agree. Yes.
Okay, good. All right. Well, then let's move on with your theory.
Okay. So let's pick little things, all right? I mean, or we can go back to Aristotle and his view of the heliocentric universe, which once again, the only aspect of that, and anybody in the past talking about that, even what was his name, Ptolemy, is that we are the center. Okay. Another part where you also have to stay open-minded is there's those of us that are religious and stand behind that, and those of us that are not. What I invite everyone to consider is maybe whatever or whomever created us did make us the center of this little project. Now, maybe there's other things and there's other centers for other different beings, but we are the center. And that is why we are important.
Okay, I want to make sure that we have the terminology right. Okay, because you're talking about the geocentric, okay, versus the heliocentric. The heliocentric is the sun at the center of the solar system and movement.
Sorry, yes. Yep,
okay,
yep,
that we see.
My bad.
Yes.
Yep.
The geo being Earth, the geocentric model.
But where I'm going with that is they're actually one. I believe we live in this little fixed environment where the sun and the moon and us on this flat plane are all in the same bubble, we'll call it, inside the nun. I love the nun. And thank you. And that is what I believe.
Noon. But
sorry, noon.
It's noon. It's okay.
The nun, the nun planet. So yes, that's what I believe. Yes. And yes. Now, okay, so physics. Let's go back to physics. What John said. So that kind of goes out the door. If you believe in this magical Merlin-esque thing called gravity, then sure, it makes sense that we're spinning. You can give me the number on how ungodly fast and how even if you put a helicopter up and it doesn't go underneath you because gravity is so magically perfect. But yet liquids all act the same, right? So like the biggest red flag to me is water would be everywhere. It matches the shape of the container that it's in. So to be honest, I'm not even saying it's a flat plane. I'm saying it's more like kind of like a bowl. That's where we can hit ice wall afterwards when you get in. But we're more in kind of like a bowl thing. And that's why the water stays. I mean, why doesn't the water fly off? And is there any way to describe it without just saying, well, gravity?
Okay.
You know?
So
there's a word for it.
Yeah.
Gravity.
So when once you get and that this is the very worry, and this may go down a bunny rabbit hole, but that's the very worry that when the poles shift, that all stops. And what happens is, and when it's just like trying to stop a truck going 60 miles an hour in the matter of 10 feet. Well, everything in the back is going to now be in the front, right? So when the spin, if the spin stops, everything else that's with it keeps going. No, Anthony?
Oh, if the spin stops, sure, but the switching of the poles is just a flip-flopping of the magnets.
Well, I
so
mean,
north becomes south magnetically.
They say August 13th. I think it's August 13th this year. We're going to have 7 seconds of no gravity, which is, I know that's all horseshit, but the whole point. My point is,
it's testable though. But it's testable,
right? So, so
let's hang on to it.
So if the spin stops,
I know what I'm doing in those 7 seconds. 60,
well, you better be holding on to something. Yeah,
I will be. Oh, I will be.
So, but if so, I have to look at it at some point in time when the rotation started. Yeah, everything was all jacked, right? Because it wasn't at a speed. So as it goes, it now becomes a cling, gravity, right? Mm-hmm. So now everything is in place. So once you get the speed up to speed, everything stays in place. That's like when your helicopter thing, a lot of people, well, if I jump up in the air, then I'm going to be 10 miles that way. Well, that doesn't work that way because you are literally gravity, you're held to the surface because of the spin. So if you jump up, you're jumping with the spin. Right? So that's
exactly.
Why,
because everything is moving at, and it's roughly at the equator, it's 1,000-mile-an-hour spin. Okay, is what you have because you're doing about 25,000 miles in a 24-hour period. So you got about 1,000-mile-an-hour spin, but everything is moving at the same speed. That's why when you're driving along in the car and you take your water bottle and you pour it in your lap, it doesn't end up in the seat behind you. It ends up straight down in your lap. That's basic relativity. Everything moving in that same direction continues because of momentum, which is caused by gravity. Okay. Also, continues to move in that same direction with you. You can call it magic, but it's actually just the shape of the space-time continuum.
Is long distance shooting.
Go ahead, Michael.
Because when you're doing long distance shooting, you actually have to calculate the rotation of the Earth. When you get out to 2 and 3 miles.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the curvature. Yep.
Yeah. So I've never heard that. So that I would like to fact check, and I'm not saying you're wrong, but that moves me back. Because now with lasers, I know you can do lasers across the Great Lake and there should be curvature and the laser goes straight across.
Okay, but what about the guys? So I got a video for you. Let's go to that video real quick. There's these guys that tried to test the theory that if at water level, so you got to say water level, right? So water level, they made these barriers. Go ahead and cue it up for us. And so when they did, and they cut the holes at exactly the same height all the way across at water level. And their goal was to shine a light through that at 5 kilometers, I think it was. And so technically, according to Flat Earth believers, that light should line up in them holes all the way different. Let's watch it real quick.
You have a backup experiment. If you're seeing through this hole, through the next hole, and seeing the light at the backboard or at 17 feet off the water. The Earth is flat. If he's holding it up at 23 feet high and we're seeing the light, well, that's because the Earth's curved. So I should only be able to see it when it's at 17 feet. Okay, go ahead and drive down there, Enrique. You're going to hold the light there? Enrique,
5 kilometers.
how high is your light?
Yeah, 5 kilometers.
17 feet.
I mean, it's as, we don't see you, Enrique. Lift up your light way above your head. Interesting. Interesting, yeah.
So what's it saying that it dropped? It curves.
Yeah, there was a curve. So the light, like your laser thing, a laser across the Great Lakes. I've never heard of that one. I want to fact check that one as well. But you're doing water level, so everything is exactly the same over 5 kilometers. And by the time he held that light up to where it's supposed to be, it didn't line up with the holes. But when he went 15 degrees up, guess what? It all lined up. So that showed the curvature of the Earth.
Well,
right.
We would have to, if everything lines up totally right, like it is actually level and they measured to make sure there isn't degrees of change, which I would argue there probably is.
Well, that's why they did water level.
Right. And also cameras. We could get into modern cameras and why people aren't getting Bigfoot on camera very often, or things tend to go astray. But that's more of a, we'll try not to get too wildly conspiracy, even though I know we are.
That's just. But and so I have one more video for you. I want you to watch. Let's do the rotation failure, because this guy, I understood what he was doing, and I'm like, well, holy crap, this should have proved it. Go ahead.
Recently, we carried out an experiment.
Turn the audio up, please.
Rotation to the Earth. If the Earth is spinning at one rotation every 24 hours, that means that every hour it has to turn 15 degrees. And if the gyroscope is mounted anywhere on Earth, it's going to drift. In today's 21st century navigation systems, they're using what's called a ring laser gyroscope. It is extremely precise. If we could simply get one of these ring laser gyroscopes, we would be able to prove once and for all that there is no rotation to the Earth. One of the people in the community actually purchased one for $20,000. But what we found is when we turned on that gyroscope, we found that we were picking up a drift, a 15 degree per hour drift. Now, obviously we were taken aback by that. Wow, that's kind of a problem, right?
That's kind of a problem, right?
We obviously were not willing to accept that, and so we started looking for ways to disprove that it was actually registering the motion of the Earth, and that it in fact was registering the motion of the sky. So the next thing that we set out to do was to encase the fiber optic gyro in what's called a zero Gauss chamber to see if we could actually shield the energies being generated by the heaven. And we were unsuccessful with that, unfortunately. So the next thing that we're going to try is encasing the entire apparatus in bismuth. If everything works well, I'd like to release it at the conference.
Sorry, I had to throw some comedy in
it. Yeah. Once again, that helps lean it back the other way. I would just, the only defense there, without being able to get my bismuth and spend 30 grand to do it, is that I don't trust any technology, especially expensive technology, because you know exactly where that comes from and why, and how easily that could be manipulated, especially with quantum technology and stuff that's just starting to emerge now, knowing the government is 40 to 60, maybe more years ahead technologically. So I'm saying I don't have a sound, screw you, that was stupid. That's very compelling.
Right. Yeah, it's so to me, and then and it's just like and we won't show the video, but it's like the same flat Earth guy that took everybody up to the pole and said, well, okay, we won't see 24 hours of sunshine. Got up there and saw 24 hours of sunshine because that's
the sun has to go wait someplace, before it comes back out again. But I'm not going to say, yeah. Exactly. That should be the adventure, figuring out how they do it. Is it just one sun? Is it two suns? Figure 8 rotating around. But let's dive into a couple other ones then. because I have it also, like, who's lying, who's telling the truth. I've got a buddy who's a merchant marine, and he goes back and forth across the Atlantic, and I just asked him, are you taking into consideration the circumference and the of the Earth? And he's like, no, we don't have to do that. And I'm like, well, shouldn't you? Shouldn't there be? And he's like, no, it's not important for shipping. So
no, it's not.
So, well, there you go. If that doesn't matter at all in terms of getting to the point, then
yeah, but it's okay. So what he said, I understand what he's saying. It doesn't matter because when we do regattas, and when I was younger, I kind of crewed a couple of boats, and we'd go from Connecticut to Bermuda. You had to understand the swing, especially when we went out of Newport. I think you know where Newport, Rhode Island is, right? And so we started yeah, baby. So you never sail in a straight line. You have to arc, left or right. You have, and depending on the tidal and depending on the weather fronts coming in, how you're going to do it, because you're tacking all the way there. It's back, forth, not quick tacks, but long tacks, right? So it's not like you can go, well, here's Rhode Island, here's Bermuda. We're just going to go 110 degrees. It doesn't work that way. You have to be able to tack into that, and so it's never a straight line ever. So that is the rotation of the Earth, because it affects tides and blah blah blah.
Well, it's also the curvature of the Earth,
right?
Okay, because the shortest distance is not a straight line along as it should be. It's often the curve over the top, which is why when I fly from Florida, London, I end up going over like Iceland and Greenland and shit like that. Okay, because lo and behold, that's the shortest route, is to go way up there instead of just going straight across, because that straight across actually has to deal with a bulbous shape of the ground underneath, and it's shorter to go around the curve than it is to go over the top. But Ryan, I would just say normal Wi-Fi now.
Yeah,
that's what they do. If it were anything else, if you look at your maps and you plot a course, okay, for just about any major intercontinental flight, you end up with the fact that nothing actually conveys the experience of what you fly on. Okay, you are not going to, or not what you fly on, but what you see when you're flying. So you may have a straight path and it should all be water underneath, but you're flying over land. Or vice versa. You should be flying over land the whole way, but you end up flying over water the whole way. You never see what's supposed to be underneath you, because you can't build one singular global map that actually accounts for all of these variables unless it's a sphere. That's the only way to make your airline experience, your personal airline experience, match up with with any kind of map or plan or model you can build, okay, that would account for the other half. But Ryan, I'm not here to say you're wrong. I'm actually here to say you're right.
Wait. That's like my son saying he loves me without me having to bribe him with money. First of all, when did I promise to bribe you? And second of all, I love you, man. This is a huge moment. I'm just going to take a moment.
No, I told you I'd screw with you today.
But to get on that, I ask every pilot when I get off, I can, hey, you ever see the curvature? You ever see? They're like, no, I've never seen it. It's flat.
They're not high.
They don't go up high enough to see it.
They're not high
enough to see it. Okay,
you're not high enough.
No, you're not.
Come on.
You're not high enough. You got to get 60,000 miles up, or 60,000 feet. You don't fly at 60,000 feet. Okay? You start to see the curvature at 50,000 and up. But the point being, your problem, the reason I brought up the ancient Egyptian diagram, okay, from which has been their model of the universe, more or less. It's actually not correct. I love Janice to death. We've met, we've talked. She's wrong. Okay, in how they viewed the universe. But I haven't written that paper yet, so shut up. But the fact of the matter is, your bubble exists.
Absolutely.
And scientists
absolutely.
know it exists. And they talk about it all the time.
Troposphere,
the bubble, no.
Nope.
Nope. No. It's called the event horizon. You see, because you agreed that everything we see, the Earth, the moon, the sun, the stars, are all inside the bubble. The edge of that bubble is not made out of a material you can measure or touch. I asked you about that. You didn't have an answer, but you've been busy. I suppose you pressure washed the answer away. But the fact is,
nice. That was nice.
The bubble is the event horizon beyond which you cannot see, experience anything. It is literally the cosmic waters of noon, the chaos in which nothing exists, because nothing has gotten there yet to see it, to exist there yet. Ryan, what you're describing is Big Bang Theory. That's what you're describing. And what we have is the edge. As this bang occurred from the center, the edge has been growing and moving further out and expanding over time. But that edge is still there. The cool thing is, you talked about how we have this very geocentric universe, or concept of a universe from thousands of years ago, where we have the Earth at the center. And I beg to differ, because the reason that the event horizon is where it is because we have never been able to see anything, bounce back, come back, anything from beyond that level. Why? Because that is as far as light has been able to travel in the 15 billion years since the Big Bang. That's it. It's 15 billion light years is the edge of the dome, as you call it, but it's actually more like one of those, Christmas tree ornaments. It's just clear. You haven't put anything in it yet, except us at the very center. But are you ready for this one? You, Ryan, are about 500 miles south of me.
Okay.
The universe is literally based on the perception. You're all familiar with Schrodinger's cat. Okay. What happens beyond that event horizon is Schrodinger's universe. It both does and does not exist simultaneously. It has never been experienced. It has never been seen. It has never been measured. It both exists and does not exist at the same time. But here's the wacky part. Your Schrodinger's universe is 500 miles offset from my Schrodinger's universe. We are not experiencing the same universe at the same time, because you are 500 miles closer to the southern part of the event horizon. I am 500 miles closer to the northern part. Now, in 15 billion light years, 500 miles is absolutely negligible. So we can't tell the difference from where we are. But if we were 10 billion light years apart, what I saw as the edge of the universe would be 10 billion light years different from what you saw as the edge of the universe. It would be it'd be wacky different. So you are inside your sphere. You are inside your dome. But it is not the simple explanation that they came up with 5,000 years ago to try to describe it. If you want the best explanation for Big Bang Theory, the best description, grab the book of Genesis off the shelf.
Yeah.
That is an amazing description of the Big Bang. But you are working too hard with pieces that don't actually explore what it is you want to discover. You're being sidetracked by details, trying to find patterns okay, where it doesn't actually belong. Look, the whole purpose of this program is very simple. We are looking for the absolutely best, most solid evidence of paranormal, parapsychological, UFOs, cryptids. We are looking for the cream of the crop of the evidence. You have gotten distracted by a couple pieces, okay, that we can disassemble on you. But it doesn't mean that you're fundamentally wrong about the dome and about your individual central place in it. But it's not the Earth that's the center, it's you. You literally are the center of your universe. Congratulations.
Which I think is wonderful. Thank you. And I share that spot with you four people. What is it?
Oh, I am. Thank you.
Well, anyway,
I just forgot
that
something.
is wonderful, and I thank you for being so gentle, Anthony. This is very nice of you. I was expecting
There's nothing gentle about it. You're that close.
Now you guys know how I feel. He's one of my best friends ever.
Lot of difference.
And he when I say something, he does that to me, and I'm like, I've never been told wrong so nicely in my entire freaking life, but I love it. It's awesome.
Yeah. I can accept this from another man, okay, that I am competing with.
But you're not wrong.
But you're not
I'm
wrong.
not saying you're wrong.
And that's the
saying
whole point.
You're just not there yet.
Yeah.
I'm getting close to orgasm. So hear me out. So let's do a quick back and forth on a few things. Let's just see.
Yes.
Why? One thing we all share in common is we all notice things. Mike, you a little bit better. You got that sniper vision in the world that don't make sense. You're like, well, that is odd. So why is it that Antarctica is either the only place or one of the only places all the nations in the world agree no one's allowed to go there in the public sector unless they are monitored or assisted? Why is it off limits? And we're just going quick. What's the reason?
I think it's what's under the ice, not what's behind a wall. I personally think I do honestly believe that I think there's a hollow earth entrance, a major hollow earth entrance.
Ooh, next show.
Yeah. So I don't believe it. I don't believe there's a wall that's keeping us there. I think it's what's literally under that ice. That's what I personally think.
So awesome. Entrance to hollow earth in Antarctica. That's why we all can't go, because we figure it out. What about you, Mike or Anthony? Why is that? Why we all agree? Oh, we're going to agree here, but nowhere else.
Oh, it was 1959, okay, with the Antarctica Treaty that all nations signed, because purportedly it is an area that is of such scientific value and limited population that it's super easy to keep it down to about 50 to 100,000 tourists a year, all that are allowed to go there.
Okay, and it's also interesting, 59 is right after the lunar mission. The first official Soviet Union landed something on the moon. It comes right after that, but right?
Well,
I'm pretty sure that was 59.
Sputnik was 59. No, it was later than that. But
so
go ahead.
No, I think
but
the lunar was
being. Go ahead, John.
So another. I don't think this is a theory. I think this is it's fact according to what I've been told. So it is also one of the best strategic launch sites on the planet. So if Russia went in there and took it over, they could touch anybody, anytime, anywhere, anyhow with low level
in the southern hemisphere.
Yeah, low level missiles. They wouldn't have to have big ICBMs. Yeah. So strategically, I think that's why there's an accord going, okay, well, if we can't put missiles there, you can't put missiles there. And if you do the math, so you do the circumference, do the measurements, and actually do the math will show that from the pole, everybody is touchable. Everybody is touchable. Yes. That's why we don't want them any further Alaska, because, I mean, look, you can look across Alaska and see Russia, for God's sake. So, and putting them up there is strategically a very bad thing.
The number one restriction in that 1959 agreement is absolutely zero military activity allowed in Antarctica.
Yeah.
Period.
Yet they patrol the waters.
I'm a little interested in what the Nazis did in Antarctica,
Michael,
because
what about you?
I think they were being active.
Why,
right, Michael, talk.
Why do we all agree that that place is off limits? Anything new?
Me personally, I think there is the potential of a possible alien base. They don't want us interacting. They want to keep that secret. I've seen photos of some weird animals down there. I've heard stories of people being attacked by strange beasts, things like that. Am I right? Probably not. But, you go down these rabbit holes and you start hearing these things and you're like, okay, that kind of makes sense with the way they're acting. But, it's a deep rabbit hole.
Well, that goes back to my Hollow Earth. I think, that's why I think there's civilizations in there that we're not supposed to know about, see, or understand fully.
Sure.
Right? You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
So
but that's a whole show. You're right.
Okay. And I think another one that would be really interesting to dive into and to try to get more facts out is Admiral Byrd's adventure down there. He hinted at that there was more land beyond and that people should be excited about it. And the next, the last great frontier isn't Alaska. It's actually the South Pole.
If you go back to his report, he doesn't report beyond, he reports under.
Sorry. Yeah.
And that's what I'm talking about. I mean, his report pretty much, you can say that he went crazy, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But his report was like there was a whole civilization underneath the cap. Yeah. So, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Why? So I just think, I think Byrd, it's another, at his time, reputable and respected, but then talks against the status quo, and then was he crazy? He lose his mind, which is, it's really easy to just paint people and write them off. Now, just to jump back real quick, once again, something easy to dismiss is just testing high altitude explosions, but Operation Dominic, known as Operation Fishbowl, and then from the Soviet Union, I believe it was called Project K, which they both launched warheads up, had these massive explosions, which we're all aware of, created these amazing colors in the sky. We ended up, it was like a giant EMP, electromagnetic pulse, that knocked out Hawaii, essentially. The Soviet Union actually had more land damage, where they did it over Kazakhstan, I believe. Anyway, point being, now, from my perspective, after they figured out, maybe we can't leave, because they were exploring. I mean, one of the, hate to say it, but one of the good things that comes out of war is the research and development that's done, and they were researching. And in my opinion, they realized there was something up there and they wanted to see, so they hit it. They hit it with kind of the best they had, and it did nothing, because this electromagnetic, world that we live in is far more powerful than our little puny laser guns and toys at the moment. Right. But that's what some of us believe. They were testing to see, okay, we can't leave, then what do we do? How do we expand or in this place? So give you guys a chance. I had put a couple of pictures there that you could see. Yeah,
find those pictures that he put in there. So I know we
don't have a lot of time, so good luck.
No, we're fine. Yeah, we're fine. So my tech put it in my ear. He goes, that was Project Starfish. And it was because of the it reacted to the ionosphere, because whether we like it or not, there's not that much oxygen in the good old space. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So what happens is because it needed it, it bloomed just like normal, and when it hit our ionosphere, I actually thought it was is it the troposphere? I can't say it right. My brain's not working right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why it bloomed like it did, because for it to go any further, you have to have oxygen. You have to have the agent for it to be able to be seen in space. Well, that's not that. That's why I love all these movies that show all these spaceships blowing up in space. Well, that's not the way it's going to work. Because
especially when they make the boom sound. Yes.
Right. You're not going to get the boom. That's not going to happen. So, that's why you get up there and it's like, well, just put some more fire rockets on a spaceship. It'll go further. No, that doesn't work, because it doesn't burn correctly. And that's why once you get into the outer space, that's why we're looking for energy that will actually, we don't have to worry about it needing oxygen to to work. It's got to work internal. It's got to be pushed. Now, here's the most dangerous thing in the world. Get up there, in my personal opinion, you get up there and, you get up there, you're outside. Next thing you know, you freaking spring a leak on your suit. And next thing you know, you're on the moon. Because that is the most dangerous thing in my personal opinion. You get up there and you get a pin leak, and next thing you know, you're being pushed all over the place and you can't control it. So, but going back to
an aerosol can is a jet engine.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to push.
That's the point. Now, to answer your question, John, we are heading for Mars, in very short order. But what we're going to be doing, the trip's going to take about a year, but what we're going to be using is a nuclear propulsion system, which is going to generate. It's going to generate. Thank you. Yes, it's going to generate the electricity.
Hey,
Sorry, I have got to move my monitor. This is a new setup for me. Sorry about that. But what we're going to be doing is we're going to be. It generates electricity, and the whole point behind the electricity is that it will then punch out ions that'll be created from the material that's actually in outer space itself right now. So it'll be capturing that, which is mostly hydrogen, creating ions, and then it's got electromagnets inside that will expel and push the particles away. When that happens, it then generates thrust. It generates about 10 times the efficiency of a chemical rocket, which they still work in outer space, but they're massive amounts, and you have to bring your oxygen with you to make it work. That's why you always hear about rockets having liquid oxygen, because they need to bring the oxygen with them. But if you've got an ion propulsion system, which is only good between planets, it won't do any good for landing and taking off, but it just continues to accelerate more and more and more until you hit these speeds that allow you to traverse the 40, 50 million miles to Mars, in 1 year, which is a pretty good clip when you think about it.
Right. Well, also it's go ahead, Archie. Go, baby.
I was just, since I know we have 4 minutes, since we're going to settle into it, I want to say thank you. The rifle and firing for long distance, I will definitely be looking that up. That one definitely got me. I still think the magic of gravity is, it's magic and it's beautiful. I haven't been fully swayed to that way. I think the ancients were right, but a little bit off. I like the way Anthony handled this, that I'm right, but I'm still dead wrong. And this hasn't moved it. I think we come back when we've got a little more time. And I would like to throw this to the audience. If there's any experiments, because here's what I want to do someday. I want to strap a GoPro and I want to build a rocket big enough to go all the way straight up to hit the dome. I know it seems silly, but let's create an experiment that we would all agree that if this works, then, and we build it.
I have a real simple one to start with that costs nothing.
Now, you're going to be sarcastic here. Yes, here we go.
No, I'm not. Every 3 miles on any flat surface, you will not be able to see the person standing in front of you, because the curve of the Earth creates a 6 foot tall every 3 miles.
So what I love about that
is
when we get together. So when we get together, John, you've already been talking about cooking some fat steaks, which you had me at fat steaks. All I'm asking, if possible, find a 3 mile stretch where we can do that. And if you have that, we may not be able to, but if you do, that would be an amazing moment.
Flats would be the best. But
I'll say Nevada, baby.
We can find any lake,
white mailbox,
any lake that we can stand on opposite sides.
Yeah.
Okay, that is over 3 miles. We will not be able to see each other.
Lake Weiss.
Awesome. So to conclude, then we're building toward an experiment that will either put baby in the corner, which he's not supposed to be, or put these other handsome dancers in the corner. And I think that's great, because at the end of the day, people keep an open mind. It's okay to be wrong. It's okay to be right. As long as you can continue to have healthy conversations that keep people excited about figuring it out. I don't think the book is fully closed on anything.
Right.
Honestly, I don't. Besides, if you fall in love, go with it for as long as you can. And when you hold your baby the first time, never let go. But that's
okay. So now that we're going to wrap this up. So
My
now,
curiosity is what the hell's on the outside of the event horizon? What is Schrodinger's universe out there? What is the new? What is this cosmic waters of chaos? Okay, as the Egyptians described it, what is it?
We'll do a DMT trip, Anthony, and I'll take you right there in 5 minutes or less.
Okay, so the end of the show, we're going to do a fake or fascination. Let's go ahead and roll that footage.
Go.
Got to have it ready, son.
Fake or fiction? Or fact or fiction? Yes.
Yep.
When I spin, it will happen.
Yep.
No, I just need to get it to go to the bathroom. That's what we do at the restaurant all the time, and it brings out the food immediately.
Fake or
No way.
He's right. He's absolutely right. No way.
So we got Anthony send us an image. It's great.
Yeah, it was the way the head looked
world
up.
record holder.
Yeah.
Oh,
if they are real,
Bigfoot is the world record holder in two things now. Number one, he's the champion, hide and seek player and the owner of the world's largest fanny pack. There it is, right there.
Baby got that. Look at that.
Yeah,
Looks like he's holding a car door.
Isn't that even better? Yeah,
that's a concave.
No. Everybody online says it's a baby backpack.
Ooh, that's cool. That's
cool.
The shape's wrong.
Where does the baby get the white stripe?
Well, it happens.
I'm gonna. What are the odds that the world's foremost ambush predator is standing there staring blankly at this person in the middle of the day?
Yep.
It's just too ridiculous, unless that's a blind Bigfoot,
Yeah. I don't know what
All
that
right,
is.
guys, we're out of here. Give us your best evidence, please.
Make sure you like,
what we're
follow,
here for.
share. Talk to us. If you've got something you want to look at, make sure you send it to us, and we will look at it on air and even discuss it and even potentially bring you on the show. With that being said,
we want to add it to the library.
That's right. We'll see everybody next week on the ParaGeeks.